Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Glam Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about getting the stretch in the muscle and finding the ideal range of motion. Now, this is going to be different than usual, okay? This is going to be a special trick for some of you, and a lot of you might be doing this without even thinking about it, but what I'm trying to do is make you conscious of how you are doing certain things in your training, and this might inspire you creatively to come up with other ways in order to hit your body or to basically stimulate muscle growth and have fun at the same time in the gym. So that's why I make these videos. So sometimes I get people in here and think that they're like, oh, you're going to give me the trick to like instantaneously getting gains, or the snake oil method. And of course there is no snake oil method to getting results from anything. If anybody's selling you something that is like instantaneous results or whatever, just run, man, because they're telling you a BS story. So the truth is that there are ways to stimulate the body efficiently, but there's no easy way. It's not like it's easy, right? So I had one guy say that, oh yeah, this video was a waste of time because you only gave like some tricks and tips in order to increase muscle mass and strength and coordination, but I guess he was expecting some sort of like drug user approach where it's instant gratification type thing. So that's not what I'm giving here. So if you guys are looking for instant gratification stuff, I don't know how to help you there, but I do know how to make your effort more efficient. So what I'm going to say today is that a lot of times, and this is of course is going to be applicable mostly to your limbs, but I'm going to talk to you about how to increase the stretch of the muscle without increasing the range of motion so much so, okay? Now here's how you do it, is that a lot of times when people increase range of motion, they're looking to increase the stretch in a muscle group, but increasing range of motion around one joint is not always the way to do it. And skull crushers are a primary example of this. If you're doing skull crushers and then you start to bend the elbows more, a lot of times you're getting exponentially more elbow problems and pain and pressure instead of an extra stretch in the muscle. Now, the ideal way to get that extra stretch is what? Now to increase the range of motion around the shoulder, keep the same range of motion at the elbow, and therefore you're alleviating the stress on the elbow and you're increasing the stretch in the muscle belly. You see, you're using two joints to get the stretch of that muscle belly instead of just overstretching one joint. So this is very important for you to know, is that if you start to use two joints to get a range of motion or stretch of the muscle, not only are you decreasing the amount of mileage on one joint, but you're getting more gains. You're actually using range of motion in an efficient way and getting a lot more results because of it. So say when you're doing standing curls, if you just lock the arms at the bottom and come up, you're doing the most range of motion you can around the elbow. And I would never recommend locking elbows at the bottom anyway. But if you really want to get that stretch in the muscle belly, go into the incline position. You can even keep the arms slightly bent at the bottom and get more stretch, because now you're including the shoulder in the stretch along with the elbow. So you're including two joints in order to hit one muscle. And that can accentuate that muscle belly stretch experience. And that'll be better than you just overstretching one joint to get the stretch, because when you're only stretching one joint, a lot of times you're getting just tendon pain. You're stretching the muscle to a full stretch, and now you're just stretching the joint itself and getting ligament and tendon pain. Don't be afraid to include two joints in the movement. Now, another way that you see this happen is when I'm doing the seated leg curl at the gym, that leg curl machine that I actually like, that I told you guys about at Fit for Change. I'm in the seated position, and because my back is in the seated position instead of standing straight up, I'm actually stretching the hamstrings already. So now when my legs are coming up and down, I'm actually getting more of a stretch in the muscle belly itself on the hamstring than if I was in the laying down position. So this is another example of using two joints to stretch the muscle belly instead of overstretching just one joint to try to get that muscle stretch and trying to get that stretch in the muscle belly, right? So just be conscious of this. Now, the other way you can use this strategy is that you can also use this strategy to protect the joints. And one primary example of this is when I'm doing a dumbbell fly. A lot of times I'll bend the elbows so that way the bicep that crosses the shoulder helps protect the shoulder joint as I'm stretching the chest. So sometimes you can actually use one joint to protect the other joint and therefore still isolate a muscle group such as the chest during pec flies. And so that's why you see me bend the elbows all the time. It's not because I have to, it's more because it's a more efficient way to reduce the stress on a joint and increase the stress on the muscle, because now I can do more reps and actually get that squeeze and that pumpy and lumpy effect. So yeah, I hope this helps out in your training. I hope this strategy helps you get big gains. And thanks a lot for watching. And if you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalglambodybuilding.com and take care for now. Mountain. And thanks a lot to these Patreon supporters. Thanks, guys. At least you guys get me. Thanks, man.